But right with this like thought process of building like maybe like a black broadcasting company or whatever you want to do, like even like a media company. I've been looking into that. Like it's a lot easier than you think. And there's so many like young kids like 18, 19, 20 who are building this kind of stuff. Right. And it's totally doable. And you can get paid too, right? Like, you know, if we were like rating products, right, that were like relatable to college students, that's money right there. Right. But in terms of just expanding like the podcast / YouTube, right, like I think it's about, well, and I'm sure you know all this, right? Like talking about things that are like, you know, current and present, you know, gimmicks, facts, things like that. People love to like, you know, hear about like, oh, like what's the latest, what's new, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like you could even have a conversation about like Apple versus Android users.
Like something trendy,
right? Something trendy that people.
But also getting like good information and good value from it, and not just it being trendy and having no type of value. You know?
And dude, that's like you could turn that conversation into like a bigger thing of like. Why are we so commercial these days? Right? Why is that like embedded into like, you know, our generation now, right? Like, you know, that affects like love and relationships because like people don't have that kind of status, right? Like, you know, like there's so many different places, but I think like, you know, what is it called? Even KSUCR, the newspaper, or they have like a radio station. Bro, you could like, you know, flip that. That's, you know, an opportunity to even like, you know, do something there. Like you could be on the radio, bro. Even though that's not as like poppin', but still that could be cool.
I mean, I feel like any avenue to get your name out there or get your brand out there, like you should take it, no matter how little or how big publicity like you're gonna get. Like as long as you're continuously putting your name out there, like it's just gonna work out. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and I think just keep expanding, like. Try to bring in a diversity of folks if you can, right? Like, you know, interesting conversations and topics, you know, branding with like like whatever kind of like where you want to like promote. Right. And then try to like push it as big as you can, right? Like it's cool to have like conversations, but like even like changing the location, right? Like maybe you could like have a mobile podcast, right? Like one day you're like, you know, in your room, the next day you're literally filming in the pool, the next day you're filming like, you know, on the top of something or whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
dude, there's so much like potential for something like this.
That's something, right?
You could have like little gimmicks within the shows, like fucking Seltzer Saturdays or something, something silly, but like you know, just like little themed episodes.
Literally, my private Snapchat or whatever is called Bowls and Goals, right? Like smoke and like also I have goals, nigga. So I was thinking about adding that onto the channel as a segment where like, cause I already smoked on one of my YouTube videos, like the second one I was smoking and like listening to music, but also giving like a review of the music afterward and what I thought the message was and all of that. And my mom and mostly my aunt, she got heated.
I was about to ask you about
She got heated, bro. She was like, why is he out there smoking on YouTube? Like, this isn't good. Like, he shouldn't be normalizing that. But that just showed to me, like, that's where the disconnect is. Because I think it should be normalized. Because just for me, like, I don't think I'm using it in a way that is hurting myself. So I was like, I don't know. That's just the disconnect there. But
and also it's legal in California, but it's also like your brand,
right? Your brand, your professional brand. Right. You know, like, I mean, obviously I don't have a problem with it, but just think about those things.
That's true too. That's why I didn't do it again.
But also, you could just say fuck it,
bro. Because the thing is, you could do that.
But at the same time, like I feel like concise conversation as a channel is me showing my life. And like, I'm not saying that weed is a huge part of my life, but it's obviously something that I do. So I feel like showing that other people in college do that and still have successful careers, successful lives, they're functioning fine, should not be something that I should not preview because I'm scared of a company not hiring me. I feel like if a company wouldn't hire me because I smoke, then and they're not seeing all the other benefits that I bring, then they shouldn't hire me, and I don't want to work there.
That's fire.
So
that's like a generational disconnect, right?
That is a very generational.
They still have that like, oh, if you're like that, you can't be like successful.
Right. Exactly. All weed smokers are lazy.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
lazy.
Right, like lazy. Look where I'm living, bro. Like, come on now. So
Thanks. Why concise conversations? Just because of the time, or
like why did I make the channel?
Yeah.
So the like origin story of this is I was by myself for winter break because I don't go home and all my roommates went back. So I was just like reflecting on like just why I'm in California and everything. I feel like it just came to me that I have like so many diverse friends and like when we talk, like, we have really good conversations. Like, I'm like, people need to be hearing this shit. Like, because it's always, like, not that it's, like, I feel like it's just always deep and informational, but it's also, like, friendly. Like, it's, like, I'm talking to my friends, and it's, like, a chill thing. And I was just, like, YouTube is such an easy option to just, like, integrate yourself into, especially during times, like, quarantine, where people have, like, so much free time. I was like, I should be building something for the future. So I was like, yeah, why not? Like, I'm gonna just try it out and see what's up.
Absolutely. That's super dope.
Yeah.
I wish we did it, bro.
Dude, we talked about it every day. We have everything set up. We paid for logos.
Yeah, bro. I remember that.
What was it gonna be? Like, what was your idea?
Talk about it.
Talk about it.
Let's
Shout out right
go.
now. Start it up.
Okay,
Let's
shout
start
out.
this by saying coming soon. On the way.
Yo, Young Distinguished.
Let's talk about the Young and Distinguished origin story.
Do it. They want to hear it. They want to hear it.
It was in Bellagio. The garage in Bellagio. A girl that we're not going to name was sitting on the couch, just chilling, you know. It is
bad, you know. Like, you know, I pull up to her and we're like, we're just chopping it up. And you know, classic shaming. I'm like, so what's your major? Like,
at a party. That's
you
a
know,
go-to.
what's going on? You know what I mean? And I think she said she was like doing something like art psychology or something.
Something so niche and just like, wow,
Whoa.
I've never heard of that shit.
Right.
Like,
so
interesting.
yeah, she hit me with it, and I was like, whoa. Damn, look at you, young and distinguished out here. Right? and then from
That's
there,
what you said to her?
That's what I said to her.
yeah.
You know, and then from there, it just like stuck. We would just be like, yo, we're young and distinguished out here. Like, we're all like trying to build something and do something dynamic.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the term Young and Distinguished.
Yeah, I remember her just being like, what the fuck?
Bro, she just didn't get it.
She wasn't ready for it, you know?
So that's the podcast.
Yeah,
So,
Distinguished.
Yeah.
So, like, what the vision ended up turning into was trying to bring, like, young folks, young thought leaders, you know, into a space where they could talk about all the awesome things that they're doing.
Right.
And basically just show that young people could be up to shit. Like, young people really have the power to be changing the world on a ginormous scale.
Right.
There's so many powerful, just motivated young people out there.
Straight up.
And that's something that like has always been like a major motivation for me. It's like, you know, just because we're young, just because we're in school, doesn't mean we can't, you know, start a major company. Right. Like if Zuckerberg could do it, we can
Straight
do it.
up.
Even in Riverside,
Straight
right?
up.
Like a lot of folks, you know,
This
doubt
is
you.
Silicon Valley, by the way.
Yeah. a lot of folks just doubt you. because
Running
you're
this shit
young.
up.
We're starting it.
Invest now. But yeah, a lot of people just doubt us and just doubt, you know, folks coming out of this area because we're young, you know what I mean? And even just being a person of color, they just don't necessarily see the value of your ideas that you're able to create. But, you know, if other people can do it, then why can't we? You know what I mean? So it's just a question of just doing that research, you know, developing the ideas, you know, having a good team that supports you and then going for it.
Just go for it, yeah. At the end of the day.
Yeah. Even if it doesn't work out, that's a story.
Right.
That story can be
That's a
flipped into
lesson.
your next project.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
I mean? For real.
I agree, bro.
So, with the broadcast company that you're trying to develop, like, it reminds me of something called Blavity. Have you heard of Blavity?
No, I haven't.
It's basically like this media company that was started by this. She I think she worked at Intuit, which is like I don't even know what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like taxes and whatever.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, but she was like an exec, like a rising star, and she's just like, you know what, like I don't want to do this anymore. Like I'm young, I'm black, and I want to build something that's for my people. And she ended up developing Blavity, which they do a lot of crazy shit. Like they're like a news kind of outlet, right? So they'll be on the scene where like there are issues facing people of color and report on it. But they're also like highly immersed in like the tech field, right? So they throw Afro Tech, which is this conference that happens every year, which is black people in tech, and they like review like black founders and, you know, venture funds that are like black owned and consultant firms. So it's like black money in Silicon Valley.
Nice.
And she just like puts them on display. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's one thing too, like I've just been reflecting on, like I feel like a lot of people graduate and they like go out to work and they're just working like in a system and they don't feel fulfilled. And that's one thing that I don't think I would be down for like after I graduate. And I feel like me doing Concise Conversation has just shown me how much entrepreneurship is like the way to go. Like you just need to build your own brand and go from there. And I feel like me, like obviously long-term goals, like I want this to be what I do for like my life, you know? Like I don't obviously like I just feel like me graduating and like, for instance, like political science, I just feel like going into that system, I don't know, it sounds very stressful, very corrupt, and I think this gives me an avenue to actually give back to the people that I want to give back to, rather than me working in a system and making money for the white man or whatever.
Facts, speak on it.
Whatever, so that's where I'm at right now, bro.
I get you, bro.
You got to think about where your gifts are best used.
Right,
and politics is... It just sucks, bro.
It sucks, bro.
Even for you, Shavy, the most charismatic, intelligent dude in the world, it's just like, is this really where you could have the most impact? Who's more powerful? Fucking some city council member or a founder of a startup? You know, somebody like a big name in tech, a big name in Silicon Valley. Who's more powerful?
Right.
Even just a software engineer at Google is more powerful.
They make more money though too.
Exactly, they make more money and they have so much influence on society.
Right.
You know, like. There's other ways to, you know, find that, you know, impact that you're looking for.
Absolutely.
You know.
And I think it's what's so interesting. It's like, you know, with tech having so much money and just so much intellectual capital, like what they're capable of doing is completely extraordinary. Like they're literally rewriting laws because of the technology they're putting out, right? Whether it be like data privacy or, you know, the Tesla with the like automatic self-driving.
Hey,
like,
this man got a Tesla.
You know what I mean? Like it's crazy.
You see?
Good name out there.
The landscape is changing, which is so crazy. You know what I mean? Like, and it's because of tech, right? Like, you know, it could start off with like, you know, concise conversations, and then, you know, years later you could be like the next Jimmy Fallon. You know what I mean? Like,
right, bro.
You know,
that's what I'm thinking. Hey, it's only up from here, bro.
Facts. No.
Right.
It's exciting. I'm really excited. I'm happy to see how, you know, you steadily like improve and build upon like what you have going on right now.
Yeah,
what do you think is like the next step for you to go to like the next level?
For concise conversation?
Yeah.
Also, what are your post-college plans, bro?
That's the thing, bro. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I know I'm definitely going to continue school. I was looking into master's programs. I was going to get my MPP. But then I'm already in fucking hella debt because being out of state. So I was just thinking, my TA was telling me to look into fellowships, and like I was telling you earlier, and do that. And I'm kind of like, I'm pretty motivated school wise. So I feel like I'm down to get my PhD and just go for it. So I think that's my direct plan after college. Just continue, but like for career, I'm still deciding, bro. I was pretty set on being a policymaker. And going that route, but now just like I feel like quarantine just shifted my whole view of just life and everything. So career goals wise, I'm not too sure right now, but directly after, I'm definitely gonna continue school.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah. Honestly, like, bro, fellowships are super dope, but again, like fellowships are kind of like school, where you're not gonna be making a whole lot of money from it. It's more about like.
Didn't you make like?
Dang, he's trying to hold out.
Leave that part out.
No, dude, that was like one of the most prestigious fellowships in the state, and it was like it just doesn't pay like that. And you were working your ass off. I had never seen somebody work like that.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, again, it's about because you know what's worth more than money? Connections, guaranteed every single day of the week. Like, who you know is honestly your net worth a lot of the times, right? So. You know, with fellowships, often they're not going to pay you a lot because they recognize there's a lot of capital in the relationships that they're, you know, brokering for you. Right. You know what I mean? So I think, like, if you're going into, like, grad school, totally great place, but you can't be the grad student that just does their work and doesn't do anything outside of that, right? It's always good to have, like, your side projects and just the kind of person that's always going to those networking events, trying to meet people, trying to build with other people, you know, just being present in the community is really, really important. And I think that's what got me to be the president, right? Like, when I was a freshman, I was going to these UCR meetings where I had no idea what was going on. And it was like me and one other person who would just show up, right? And like, week after week, there was barely anyone there. And that's when you know, when people aren't showing up, that's where you know what the value is. Because 90% of people are always missing the bag, right? They're not seeing value in the spaces where it's not always obvious. So yeah, like you know, I stayed, you know, in that space, kept going, and rose up the ranks and became president. You know what I mean? And it's a question of doing that for me now, like outside of, you know, university. Right? Like, how can I like start building in other places? And you know, Sari came along and. You know, that's one of the bags we're developing now.
Right.
You know?
Honestly, I feel like that was kind of my route with Concise Conversation too. Just coming from out of state, I knew that I wanted to get involved. Like whatever it was, I knew I had to get involved. So like when I came here, I joined ASPB. I was in that shit for like.
I was in that shit too.
Yeah, look it up, bro. I was in that shit. I actually quit before Spring Splash because
what? Oh,
I missed the Nooners, right?
Oh.
And then I was in the Concise division, so I missed the Nooners like right before Spring Splash because I was just dealing with my own shit. Yeah. And they were like, "Oh, we're gonna kick you out from backstage. Like you're just gonna be working like a water station or whatever." I was like, I just thought about it. I was like, my very first Spring Splash, and like. I either gonna be working at water stage or I quit right now and go to the concert. So I quit and I went to the concert. I mean, like I didn't really have any reservations about it because like I feel like I did put my time in with ASPB and I made like really good connections, but I was just like, that's not worth it. Like staying in that water station or whatever is not worth missing the concert. And but I just feel like I've dipped my foot in like every aspect of UCR. Like I was a common grounds facilitator.
Oh no way!
That shit was pretty cool. Just like being with the freshmen and just hearing their experiences.
You're perfect for that. Actually,
yeah, it was really fun, bro. Obviously SAE, like I've done that. I'm the president right now. Shout out.
So crazy.
Yeah, I know, bro. It's wild. Like, am I really?
Probably.
Probably. Lucky, huh? Fucking, I did like it's called canvassing with like
Calperg?
Yeah, with Calperg was another thing, but I was talking about Ronaldo Fierro and Patricia Lock Dawson. I canvassed for
Ronaldo
that.
Fierro.
That's our guy.
Yeah.
He's
that nigga owes me a fucking letter of recommendation, so get on him. But yeah, I just feel like
we'll talk to everyone.
He's actually so bad at responding to things like that. Yeah? Remember?
You know, they got a lot.
They do have a lot of things.
He has no shame, by the way.
But yeah, I feel like just getting involved in everything, bro.
Like freaking Caleb.
Caleb Reagan, right? He's the one who owes me the letter of recommendation, bro.
Man,
but
cut that off.
Yeah. Edit out. X out. But yeah, just getting involved, bro.
Dude,
like,
that's key.
Yeah.
That's key. That's
and I feel like all of that just led me to here where I have all those skills that I can just incorporate in my own brand and my own business now.
Yeah, because so many leaders today are very one-dimensional, and
right.
like what you're doing is like building like a framework that's interdisciplinary, right? Like you know how to canvas and how to kind of be political. You know how to organize events. You've been in that space, right? Like with Calperg, you probably know how to like go up to people and ask for money, like
Literally, just be on the phone, like, can we get your money? $5. Like, that's it.
Y'all do it over the phone now?
Bro, quarantine, it was all online.
That's
all
so
the phone,
embarrassing.
Bro. It was so weird. People were like, where's this money going? I'm like, I don't know. Like what the It's good, I trust. But yeah.
It's going to some good things for sure.
Bro, you were like Calvert president or some shit, weren't you?
My first year, yeah.
Dang, like you were the chairperson?
I was chair. Because the thing is, Calperg, there's so much turnover. And like they have like a new like counselor every year, right? So when the year ends, like boom, everyone's gone. And then like it was me and like 3 other people who started it. And then I didn't want to take it originally, but then eventually like closer to the end of the year, I was like, bro, I got this, So I took it on and it was a really great experience. Nice. And like, it was really good because I failed a lot. Like I would be like super nervous and, and it just helped me like break through those fears and like get the practice. You know what I mean? Because with Calperg, they really train you how to be an organizer, right? And that's like the key to everything, right? Learning how to like see people's talents and like put them in different places and being able to have those like strategic conversations and everything. So it was really cool.
I was actually on the board of directors for Calperg too.
For the state?
Yeah, for the state. I went in there. And I was like, dang, this shit's low-key run like a fraternity. Like they were in there, they had to hit quorum before the voting and all that shit. So it was like cool seeing like the behind the scenes of Calperg, and I would definitely say that I learned a lot. Yeah. Just like, I mean, it being online too, I feel like I learned a lot. Just like making connections, like genuine connections over the screen. That was a new skill. But I would definitely say like it was an experience for sure.
They do hella shit, like they plan press conferences, obviously doing like the petitioning, like having meeting with like local officials, all that shit really puts like hair on your chest in terms of just developing that.
It's a lot of fucking work,
bro. So much work.
It's a lot of work. Bro. I had to quit, bro, because it was just it was too much, bro. Yeah. And then as soon like I was doing that, and then I also ran for president at the same time, and then obviously just school. I feel like I've been like so unmotivated school wise, just because it feels monotonous. I feel like I'm doing the same thing like. Every quarter, winter quarter, we had a 1 week break and then right into spring quarter. And it's just like, it was crazy, bro. So I feel like I couldn't give any more of myself to Calperg. But they had like such a huge organization that I was okay leaving it with them because I feel like they had enough groundwork. But yeah, I couldn't do that shit anymore, bro. Yeah.
I feel that for you. It's just about finding like what's right for you, right? And even with this podcast, it's like finding an organization that can like help you refine those skills, right? Where you can like be paid to like do filming / video editing, and like you're also being able to translate those skills to your own personal project, right? Like maybe the Highlander, I don't know. You know what I mean? But there's so much opportunity. What about you, bro? What were you involved in when you were in school?
Oh man,
this was the boy, bro. He was the coolest RA I ever
He was
met.
the coolest RA, bro.
I definitely was.
Everyone loved him.
Everyone loved him. Oh, you know Sebastian? Oh, Sebastian.
Dude, I don't know. I had it like that. But, what was I involved in, bro? I feel like I tried to get involved in so many things, and I just never really like stuck with it. Like I tried SAE, like the car club on campus. Could not fuck with it, dude. First of all, it's all white people, right? And love them. Let me not even like. Let me not front. But
I'm so dead.
Dude, you just walk in there, you feel uncomfortable. Nobody really like greets you or like make. There would be maybe like 1 or 2 people that were like actually like out there and really trying to like make you feel like part of the team, make you feel integrated. But mostly it wasn't like that, and everyone had their own little cliques, and it was just all white, and you didn't get their fucking weird jokes. So I just couldn't really hang there.
Right.
Res life was definitely the best experience that I had, just because of everyone that I met. I met this guy, Matt. I met a bunch of residents too. That was like another part that we don't talk about enough. Like your coworkers are cool as fuck, Marwan, whatever, and then all the residents. So that was awesome. But I think that might be it as far as like what I was really in. I mean, started my senior year. Yeah, that went up.
That's crazy. So how was it starting a business
in
in college? Like, 'cause that sounds wild.
So a lot of what we were doing, and while I was still in college, was just like laying the framework, right? So we were just setting up. We were still developing the idea, right? It wasn't really like, oh, let's start a business. It was more just like, what are we even like meeting every week for? Or even just laying that groundwork of let's meet every week and try to develop this. Like that was all happening during college. Yeah,
exactly.
And then towards the tail end, like maybe spring quarters, we actually started like, okay, we're about to make this into a company. We're like starting our designs. And like really just like buckling down and working on it. Summer was a grind. Just straight up. Like there was weeks where it was literally just like at Mahmoud's place like 10 hours a day, every day. Just for weeks, going to the manufacturer, just trying to get it all designed, and then it kind of like chilled out a little bit once we passed our things off to the manufacturer, and now things are picking right back up because we're assembling. I don't know why I'm like going on about this,
but it's hard. It's definitely difficult, and you got to bleed for anything you love, right? So it takes a lot of time, effort, and just that level of commitment, like to be there for 10 hours and be like, this is my day, this is my life now, and I'm gonna like build this and make life out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it was my summer. Like after graduation, I should be spending 10 hours a day looking for jobs, but I was just like, I'm out here. I have this team. Everyone, I believe in them. They believe in me. So like, we're just gonna try it out.
Right.
We're so fucking young, bro. Like, it's okay to like put so much time into something and then it fucking blows up.
Right.
Like that's fine. Like I can live with that. I can't live with like saying like, oh, I quit. But they went on and did it, and then it went
right. Exactly. Straight up. Missed opportunity right there.
Facts. And I think it's a skill too, like being able to talk about failures you have, like, oh, I tried to build this thing and it didn't work out, but this is what I learned out of this, right? And the connections I was able to manifest out of just being involved in this thing.
Dude, the connections. Okay, we didn't even talk about how much UCR put us on with Saru.
They did.
Dude, they did.
Bro.
Not to mention like just posting us and just getting our name out there, putting us on the UCR like website or like newspaper or whatever, writing articles and stuff. But just the connections they made with us, like our first grant was from the Office of Technology Partnerships, where we got like a grant from them, and then from there we kind of got integrated like with Launchpad and with May, and gave us so many connections. Jed from BCOE.
Oh my god.
He's literally the GOAT. He gave us so many connections. Like first of all, Renova. So our bin is solar powered, right? Our bin is solar powered, totally off grid. So it's not like plugged into anything, and so Jed knew like a UCR alumni that owns a solar company, like a solar installation company called Renova out in like Palm Desert. So plugged us with him. We went over there, like the whole team made a pitch to him. Like it was like that was a crazy experience. I was just like, damn,
our car broke down on the way there.
We had to get out, change the tire, and it's like in the worst part to like break down. But dude, that was like that's gonna be in our movie for sure. Dude, yeah. So we plugged us with this UCR alum that owns a solar installation company. So we went over there. They're like hella like this is not just like a little small, but this is like a fucking biggest solar installation company in SoCal.
Yeah.
You know, works with Tesla, all this shit. So we pitched to them, and they just loved us. I don't know how we even got their time, because that dude was so important. Yeah. But for some reason, he was willing to give us like 2 hours of his time, and you know, pitched them, loved us, and they literally gave us like. I think they ended up spending like $4,000 on us. Yeah. Because they bought 2 solar panels for us to use on our units. Yeah. Like we only just wanted one. Like we thought they made them, but they actually just installed them. Yeah. So we just wanted one. But they were like, all right, so how much money do you guys need? Like, what's up? And we didn't even really like, we'll take what we could get. You know, you have a solar panel. They're like, dude, we can get you some. We don't make them that small, but like, we can definitely get you some.
That's crazy how receptive they were to like just everything.
Yeah, I think part of it was just because I mean they liked us and we're UCR students. You know, they definitely want to like give back, and I think what's it called, Vincent? Like he sees the power of entrepreneurship. You know, like he's built that company by himself from the ground up, and you know I think he's just that type of guy who'd love to lend a hand to someone who's on their way up as well.
I want to be that person when I get big. Like I want to help my community, help young entrepreneurs out. I feel like that's the way to go. Like you bring people up with you.
Definitely, guaranteed. And like also we need to like start investing in like the minds that are out there right now, right? Because there's so many folks again like they just don't know that they're capable of doing shit like that, right? And like, you know, we all have ideas, right? But it's a question of like execution and giving folks the resources to build something that can become compelling. You know what I mean? And I think what was really cool, like when you were talking about that, I was like, there's so much power in just being a student, right? Like, you know, your access to just different people, professors, right? Like staff that their job is to like be able to support you and give you these kind of opportunities and whatnot. And just the sheer amount of like, you know, shit that people don't even know about, right? Like I think something that really helped me, like I was a political science, like public policy student. I didn't really know too much about business, but I got to study at the London School of Economics and study like, you know, social entrepreneurship. And like that like was just so developmental, right? Like learning how to like build a business plan, learning like what strategic partnerships look like, right? Learning from other companies, you know, around the world that have done this kind of stuff before, and just getting that insight and just connecting with peers, like just being able to meet people that have like different ideas and whatnot, can hook you up. Like that's also a form of networking that nobody thinks about, like almost like networking to the side, if you will, right? Like seeing what your homie's doing and being like, oh, okay, like I got a homie that can help you out with that. Like, I got a homie that can support you in this way. You know what I mean? Like all that kind of stuff is just so fundamental to growth.
Yeah. And also, I feel like the whole entrepreneurship, sorry, I just wanted to talk about this. The whole entrepreneurship scene and like startup scene at UCR is so not talked about. Like literally nobody knows anything about it, but there's so many clubs, communities, like Launchpad at UCR, that is like the ultimate plug. They will like if not give you money, like tell you who to talk to. They'll give you all the competitions to apply to, whatever you need, like any resource you need to get a business off the ground while you're a student, they will give it to you. Straight up.
It's like a little like mini accelerator on campus.
Exactly. Just great mentors, great you know, just different like leaders there that can help you out. And like just as a student, even if you don't have your own idea, there's other teams out there. You could go join their idea and, you know, go see what you guys can do together.
And bro, it's as easy as being like, yo, you have an idea, you know, now you need someone to help you with marketing, right? You go to like the American Marketing Association, get a student from that club to help you out and join your team. Then you go to like SE, you get a student from there to help build the thing you want to do. And then you get a student from like a business organization on campus. Like all, like everything you need is right there. Just, you know, by the virtue of being a student on campus, right? So just connecting with the right people, dude, you can really do anything, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. Look at us, bro. Having these good ass conversations. I actually have to head out soon.
I'm going
to LA. Like I told you.
Hey, peace out.
Deuce.